Hello, I'm EG, and this is Crocheting with EG. And in this video, I have another yarn haul, and this is like settling because this is my biggest yarn haul ever. I made it to Hobby Lobby for their big markdown. These aren't dye-a-lot clearance skeins. These are the big markdown, and I got there like right when they were finished marking them down. So I basically got first dibs on all their yarn. And I got a lot, so this is going to be like a real... what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep pausing the camera and so that I can pull these out in groups, because I did buy multiple skeins of some of them. But I'm going to try to, condense this down a little bit so that this video isn't 5 hours long, because it would very easily be 5 hours long if I sat here and showed me pulling out every single skein. And so, but I'll show the yarn that I have, and it's just, and then later on I'll talk about the whole experience, or maybe I'll do it through it, so that I'll just get to the yarn. But it's just been like it was crazy. But anyway, let me pull out my first set of skeins, and then I'll show those off. Okay, the first set, they did have a lot of bulky yarn. I wish that they had more of the number 4 weight acrylic. That's the kind that I like the most. But they did have a lot of bulky yarn, but it's really nice bulky yarn. So and I do like working with it. I just don't have a whole lot of bulky yarn in my stash. And so, like, if you're waiting at the end of this video for me to put my yarn away like I have done in some of my other haul videos, that's not going to be in this video. No, not even in my next haul video, which I've already filmed. So, but I wanted to get to this first. Because I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. That's going to be a whole nother video where I show, like, trying to reorganize this and figure out where to put all this yarn. And I also have a big box from Premiere that I was doing for this Pride video. I got to put that away too. I don't know. Like I joked in one of my posts, I said, to paraphrase, a Jaws quote, I'm going to need a bigger wall, because it's just like, but there's a lot. So I do have a lot of these are bulky yarns, but they're really, really nice bulky yarns. And so I got 3 of the, and what I did was, I'm not a shelf clearer, although there is some in here that I did clear the shelf and I feel really bad about, but not really, because it's such nice yarn, but I feel bad about it, but I don't have, I lost my train of thought, so I'm just thinking about that yarn. No, oh, okay. What I do is, or when I went in to the store, I went over there and I was looking at the yarns and stuff. And so, like, when they had like 5 skeins, I would get 3, or if they had 4, I would get 2. But if it was like an odd number, I would take like 1 extra. Even though I don't need any yarn, but like, who could pass this deal up? I mean, I haven't figured out like what this all this yarn was worth, like, based on the original price. And like, I wouldn't even do that, because like I wouldn't buy this original for the original price. Like, I would always buy it on the 30% off week. So I feel like if I say, oh, I spent this much on the yarn and it's worth this much, like, really it's worth 30% off of that, because I would never buy it at the full price. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I may figure that out and put that in the on the screen somewhere at the end or something. But I have no idea. But anyway, so like, these were $1.24 a skein. So it's like the Baby Bee, My Sweet Love, and I got 4 different colorways of this. And with these, this one is called Coral Multi. It has like orange and teal and some green and pink and yellow, and it's like this, kind of it kind of reminds you of those, I've never bought any, but that ice cream yarn, it kind of reminds you of that, like those kind of colors, like, creamsicle kind of summery ice cream sort of colors. And so I bought 3 of those. So like, for this, I can't remember, because it's all a blur. So I went in there and they probably had like 5 of these, so I took 3. Or if they had 6, I took 3. You know what I'm saying? So I got 3 of those. And then this one, this is one of my favorite. It's really pretty. This one's called Purple Pink. And it's the same kind of thing, Baby Be My Sweet Love. And these are $1.24 a skein. Like, regular price $4.99. Although for me it would be $3.50, because I would never spend $4.99 on this. but $3.50, it's like, less than half off for me. But 75% off if you're the kind of idiots that would buy this full price. No, I'm not saying idiot, but you know what I'm saying. The people that don't know that there's like the 30% off week. I would never pay full price for these. I go by the 30% off price. But these are like, it's really pretty. It's pink. It has like a more purple than pink. There's a little bit of pink in it. So it should. Yes, it's called Purple Pink. So it's there's a reason it's purple first, because it is barely any pink in this. But they're really pretty colors. And then this one is called purple multi, and so and I got 2 of those, and so this one has like purple and yellow and pink and green and just all kinds of colors, and so that's what this one looks like. I got 2 of those, and see the difference. There's more purple in this than this one. There is some purple in this, but you know, this one has more purple in it. So I got 2 of those, and I'm surprised that more of these aren't like this, because of how I've got 3 bags in here, like these giant bags. I can't even lift it up. These giant bags. Although it was in 4, but I condensed it down to 3. I joked to my mom that, like, watch me when I'm carrying these into the house, end up breaking my wrist because they're so heavy, and then I won't be able to crochet for 2 months, because it's just like ridiculous. Like she came with me to the store, and I walked out of the store, and she's like, she wants me to get the yarn, and I was like really excited. I was gonna like lift them up so that she could see them in the parking lot, but they were so heavy I could barely lift them or whatever, and but she got really, she could see, you know, my arms like way down because of how heavy they were, and so she got really excited for me, because she loves that when I buy yarn and stuff for myself. But anyway, I couldn't even lift them. But anyway, so then I got 3 of these. It's the same Baby Bees, My Sweet Love, and then this one is called Heavenly Heather, and so it's like a lighter mix of colors. It's sort of like that same kind of thing with this one, that purple multi, except it's like a lighter version of that, and so it's the same sort of colors. Like if this had a pastel, or this is sort of pastel, but if this had like a pastel cousin, it would be this. And so there's 3 of those too, and so I don't know, I might mix them. These would make really pretty scarves, but I don't know if I come up with some other thing where I can use all of them, I can kind of mix them together, because they all match really well. So I don't know, but that's like, you know, those. And if you're wondering how much I spent on all this, it's ridiculous. I've been saving for this for weeks. So I had saved up like $200, because I thought there's no way I'm going to spend $200, but I wanted to, you know, make sure I had enough money. And then I ended up spending $205.02. So technically, does that mean I only spent like $5? Because I already in my head that $200 was already spent. But it was $205. But like 109 skeins for that. I mean, I know it's ridiculous, and you're probably looking at my yarn wall and thinking, what are you buying all this yarn for when you have all this? But like I'm gonna be set for like years probably. Is this my last haul video ever? No. Like I'm sure I'll buy a couple of random skeins if I come across them, but like and then crap, I didn't even think of this, but them getting rid of all these skeins and stuff, now they're going to be like, you know, putting new yarn out, tempting me. No, but I'm like set for a very long time. Like it sort of feels like, oh, I'm set for like birthday gifts and Christmas gifts, and like I don't need any gifts for the next 2 or 3 years, because I just feel like it felt like this big gift, just getting all this stuff and being lucky enough to have all this yarn to have all kinds of fun with and crochet with. But you know, so it was $205.02, but look at how much yarn I got. So it was totally worth it. And some of these are like less than $2 a skein. I think the most expensive skein I got was, I got some of those like twisted, like those hand dyed yarn that I would never get full price. I've never gotten 30% off, because they're just so ridiculously priced. This is the only time I would ever get these. Would be during the sale. They were $4.24 a skein. I got 6 of those. So I did get those. Those were like a little pricier, but like, you know, regular price, you know, it's ridiculous. So I mean, for a reason, it's hand dyed yarn. It's really nice, luxurious yarn. But so that's, you know, the extent of it. Most of it's like, you know, a bunch of 2s and or what I hate is that she put it on a receipt that I wanted to have like this big moment where I, like, you know, pulled out my like CVS length receipt or whatever. But like she started to ring them through like one by one, but then it got to the point where she started to put like, okay, 15 times, like, you know, and so I don't have, my receipt isn't as long as it probably would have been otherwise if she would have rang it up. She probably would have had to change the paper and the register and the ink. So anyway, so let me get to this other yarn. God, I can barely reach the camera to turn it back on because of all these yarns. Okay, now these are all the same kinds of yarns, but they're all different colors. And a lot of people don't like these. I didn't like them before I actually used them. But I found a skein similar to this in Goodwill. I don't think it was Hobby Lobby, but it's that kind of like wavy yarn. where it sort of I forget the exact name of it, but it has all these little waves in it, and I made a cowl out of it, and it turned out so nice that I really liked working with it. I was surprised at how easy it was to work with, because I thought, oh, it's going to keep the hook's going to keep getting caught on all these like not loops, but like these little waves or whatever, but it didn't, and it makes like a really pretty cowl. I'll be making scarves and stuff with it. I mean, it's just really nice. It's Yarn Bee Fleece Light, Lite, misspelled. No, this one's called Opal Fire. See, these were $1.49 each, and so regular price $5.99. And when I would go through Hobby Lobby, in my Hobby Lobby there was the one aisle that had yarn on both sides, and then on the other aisle next to it there was yarn on like just one half, and the other half had all like the all the hooks and like all the little amigurumi kits and like all that, and the needles and all that. So my Hobby Lobby has like, you know, sort of in my head it's like two and a half. Or 3 aisles, but it's basically one aisle with, you know, yarn on both sides, and then another half aisle. And so that half aisle always had like all the bulky yarns and yarns like this, and I never really looked through that very often, because I always looked at the medium 4 acrylics and stuff. And so I know that they've had these for a long time, but this just was never the yarn that I was really interested in. But the more I would buy dial-light skeins, or like just find some, you know, in random places, or I started to you know, branch out and use yarn like this that I would never use, and I found that it's actually kind of nice, and I like working with it. So I'm glad that, like, I know a lot of people I've seen some videos where they got their they got their clearance before I did. They were a little disappointed that there wasn't a lot of cotton on sale. There wasn't a lot of like the medium 4 weight or like the thinner yarns. It's like a lot of bulky yarn. But I really love that I'm getting a lot of this bulky yarn, because I'd never really bought a whole lot of it before, and so I get to work with a lot of, because I have plenty of medium 4s. And some thinner yarns too. So I don't have a whole lot of bulky yarn like this, and this is like the perfect opportunity to get some really nice yarn. So I got 3 of this color, and this one is called, I already said it, Opal Fire. So I got 3 of those, and then I got 4 of this one. It's called Silver Ice. So it's kind of like, oh, I didn't even like really describe the color. This one has kind of like pastel pink and some light blue and gray and kind of like a tannish white color. And so that's what that one is. And this one is just like whites and grays. And so it's called Silver Ice. And so I got 4 of those. And then I got 3 of these. They're the color Sandstone. And this looks kind of like a buttery yellow, and with like maybe like a really light tan color, but it's sort of like a sort of a buttery yellow. And so there's 3 of those. And then this one they had the most of, and this one's called Quartz. It's just like a white color, and this one's a little messed up, but it's probably that girl in the store. No, oh, I haven't even talked about it yet, but when I went to the front of the store, I'll just, you know, go off on tangents here and there, but I went to the front of the store with all this yarn. I looked like a ridiculous idiot with like this. My cart was literally overflowing with yarn, and some of it was like, it kept falling on the floor, and it was just sort of embarrassing. But the I mean, I loved it. It was, you know, really fun, but it was kind of embarrassing. And one of the customers that I let in front of me, because, you know, I let a couple customers in front of me, had these daughters, and one of the daughters like walked. They were around my niece's age, probably like 10 years old. One of them seemed a little bit younger, but one of them like literally walked over to my cart, and she was like poking at my yarn. I'm not saying that she did this, but she was just like, you know, having fun with it, and she was going, "So what are you gonna do with all these?" Like, and so she was like poking at it, and so like when I pull a yarn out of my bag like this, I'm thinking about her. Is she the one that did it when she was like poking at it? But no, she was just like having fun with it. But I'll talk more about them later in the video, because I want to get to the yarn. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 of the quartz, and these would make really pretty scarves. I mean, it's just like it's really soft too. And then I got 2 of these. This one's called Why am I looking for the color that way? I forgot. You can just read it real big on these. This one's called Wonder Lodge, and it has like a tan and sort of an olive green and sort of a darker green and some white in it. So that's what those look like. So I have 2 of those. And then this is my favorite color. This one's called Teals. What a shock. It's my favorite. But just like these really pretty teals and blue colors. I got 4 of these, and you know, $1.49 each. And then I got one of these. I can't believe that they're getting rid of this. Although I don't know what I'm going to do with the one I have over there. But I really wanted to use it for something because it's really gorgeous. It's like, it's black, and then it has how I love black with mixed with really pretty colors, and it has like some purple and blue in it. I'd gotten a skein of this, and it's still on my shelf over there. When I was trying to make myself a cowl, but the cowl that I had made, I feel like I'm repeating myself from an older video, but the cowl I had made was from a skein called Huga from Red Heart, and I found it at Ollie's. And so I wanted to make myself a cowl like that, except in black, but they didn't have that in the store anymore. And so or anywhere, I couldn't find any. And so I went through this quest of like trying to find different black yarns, and I'd found one of these, and I was thinking of making this into a cowl. I made all kinds of other cowls that just, you know, didn't have that same kind of Huga look. And but then when I bought my big order from Red Heart, or from Yarnspirations, side note, this is, all of this yarn is more than like my I thought my Yarnspirations order was big, and like if you add that haul with my Michaels haul that I did, or that I bought, this is more than that. So this is like, it's crazy. So it literally is my biggest haul ever. But I bought that Huga from Yarnspirations, and so I didn't need this anymore. I didn't need to turn this into a cowl. It had like purple and stuff in it anyway, so I probably wouldn't have worn it as a cowl, but it'll make a pretty cowl, or something. Oh, on the label it shows like a stocking or whatever. I don't know, but so now I have 2 of these. They had 2 of these. I almost bought both of them, but I thought I already have one at home, and I haven't used that yet either, so I did leave one of these for somebody in the store. So anyway, that's all the, you know, fleece light that I got, and so they had a whole lot of this in my store, and so, you know, it's really nice yarn. Okay, God, if you could smell my room right now, it literally smells like like they threw in a bag of that cinnamon, pumpkin spice, whatever, potpourri, because it does. It just has that cinnamon smell. It's just irritating. I mean, it smells nice. It smells like, you know, my house has potpourri in it now, just from opening these bags. But it's kind of ridiculous how oh, something shifted. All these skeins of yarn. It's kind of ridiculous how the smell gets into the yarn. It eventually goes away, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I bought, this wasn't 75% off, this was 50% off, I guess because it wasn't a Hobby Lobby brand. It's a Premier. I love Premier. They're just falling everywhere. That's, you know, a precursor, or like not a precursor, what's it called? A premonition of like what's to come when I'm trying to organize my yarn. But I love Premier's yarn. Since I got it in that big box for my Pride video. It's such nice yarn, and I couldn't believe they even had Premier yarn in Hobby Lobby. I thought that I thought they had gotten rid of all the yarn, or I guess they're doing it now, getting rid of all the other brands. But I thought they just had their exclusive brands, but this is just a Premier anti-peeling and bamboo chunky, so it's like that bamboo yarn. It's so nice and soft, and so these are $2.50 a piece, so they were only half off. But I got this one is called Blueberry Pie, because it's sort of like it's more gray than blue, but it's like a darker blue, like a really dark blue, like a dark denim kind of blue, but it leans more towards a grayish blue. I was going to put it back in this bag, but there's still more yarn in there. I got 2 of these. These are the terracotta colorway, and so like a terracotta color. And I love anti-pilling yarn. There's just something like really soft about it. Like not just like Premier, but like these yarn bees, and the ones I gotten when I went to Joanne, and like every time I get any kind of like anti-pilling, I love the feel of it. So I don't know, it's just something really nice about it. And then this one's called Mochi, M-O-C-H-I, or Machi. I'm sure it's not Machi. Mochi. It's kind of like a really light ivory color. maybe like a hint of brown in it, but like very, very light. There's 2 of those, and then this one is just like a brownish color. Oh, excuse me, is boysenberry. All right, whatever. It's like a sort of a brownish color, and so those are the anti-pilling from Premier that I got. Just really nice bamboo yarn. And then these 2 are the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber skeins. These were $1.24 each. And then this one's called Emerald Green. And I love, if you, they're on the very bottom shelf in my store for some reason. But these are really gorgeous yarns. They have a purple that I'd love to get, but I have all this yarn now. There's a purple one that I'd love to get, and I've gotten a couple of them. One of them I want to make a hat for my mom because she loved that color. But they're just like these little skeins. They kind of remind you of those ones like the Big Twist Living from Joanne or that kind of thing, where it's probably going to be the perfect amount for like a hat or something. And they have a lot of pretty colors in this brand. And so I guess they were getting rid of this one. This one has like a sort of a deep mustardy greenish kind of color, and then like a, I guess like a gray, and then maybe a light bluish green or something. It's sort of like a neutral kind of color, or I mean not neutral, or whatever it's called. Almost had it. It doesn't matter. But you know what I'm saying, like those kind of colors. They're not like really vibrant colors. There's a little flaw in the yarn. Well, I can't complain about it. I only spent $1.24 on it. So I got 2 of those. And this is the only colorway in this brand that they were getting rid of. I was disappointed. When I saw they like one of these, I was hoping they were going to get rid of the other ones too, so I could, you know, stock up on those. But they didn't. And I got 2 of these. This one's called Yarn Bee Effortless Super Bulky, and the colorway is Watercolor Whimsy. And it's sort of like it reminds me of one that I got, or no, I haven't even showed it yet, because what I did was I filmed a yarn haul video, and with like the dial-out clearance, but I'm putting it off because I wanted to get this video done first. And so you'll hear me in the next video whenever I do my yarn haul that you know, I haven't gotten my haul yet, but whatever. But anyway, this is sort of like it looks like it had multicolor, and then they kind of like grayed it out kind of thing. You know, it's sort of like a real light mix of colors, like very light. It almost looks just gray on my camera, but it has this real subtle kind of these streaks of colors in here. It's really pretty, and it's kind of it kind of sticks to my hands just a little bit. It has like a little bit of a halo on it, but it sort of sticks to my hands just a little bit because of how dry my skin is. But it's really soft. There are a couple yarns that I didn't get in all. One I wanted to do because I don't have like a smartphone to whip out to. I don't even have a cell phone to whip out and like film in the store. And so what I was going to do was I was going to get at least one of each of the other ones that I didn't really need. But then when I bought all this, I thought I'm not going to do that because, you know, I didn't want to waste some money. Although I'm going to have to edit this in because I'm going to go this afternoon to get them. But they had that one of the yarns that they're getting rid of is that really thick velvet yarn, and I thought, like, what the hell? What would you do? What the crap would you do with that yarn? It's so thick and everything. Like, you need like a 40mm crochet hook or something to crochet with it. It just looks like unusable yarn unless you're like decorating like as if it was a streamer or something. I wouldn't know what you would do with it. But then I saw I think it was Yarn Geek. I was looking up like, what would you do with that yarn? And so I saw her. She got a skein, and I thought, like, why are you buying that skein of yarn? What are you going to do with it? And she said that you can unravel it and make it like smaller yarn. And I saw her. It was the coolest thing. She messed up the little end of it or whatever just to get to the piece of yarn. And then when she pulled it, it turned this big, thick, like unusable velvet looking yarn into like thin yarn, like as if you like the kind of yarn you could make scrunchies out of. And so now I want to go back today to get like at least one of each of the colors, because they're like $5 or something a skein, but they're a regular price, like, I think close to $20 or something. But like I've looked at those colorways for months and thinking that's just gorgeous yarn, but it just feels like it's unusable. Like, what would you use it for? But now that I know that you can actually like just unravel it so easily, I'm gonna get one of each. I'm not gonna get a whole bunch because, like, I spent all this on this on all these skeins, and so but I do want to get one of each of those because it's this really gorgeous velvety yarn and really pretty colors and stuff too. So I'm gonna get one of each of those. So I'm gonna walk in because like the whole experience buying this yarn, it was just I look like such a ridiculous idiot in there buying all this. they're going to see me walk in and think, oh God, there he is again. Except, this time it's because I just bought like a cartload of yarn the day before, and they're going to think, oh God, here, call somebody. I haven't even said that yet. They had to open up a register just for me, just to get me out of the store. It was so embarrassing. But it's just ridiculous. But so they're going to think, oh God, so and so come to register too, or to open up another register, because they're going to think I'm going to come through there with another cart full of yarn. But I'm not. I'm just going to get a couple skeins of that velvet yarn. But anyway, so I got 2 of those. See how I go off on tangents all the time. And then I got 3 of these. These are Yarn Bee Easygoing. It's like this really soft, thinner yarn. They had 2 eggplant colors. It's like this deep eggplant purple color, and then they had one that is Crimson Fire, or they probably had like 2 of these, and I think they did have 4 of these. And so but I got 1 of these, and so Crimson Fire, this is a really pretty red, and so I think that would make a really pretty thing. I am anxious to use thin yarn, because I did use a little bit of it that I gotten at the Dialogue clearance, and or it's in my next video, but I already filmed it. But I did a little swatch with the thin yarn, and it wasn't as hard to work with as I thought it would be. And so I'm anxious to have thin yarn too. So they did have some thin yarn, but just not very much. So these were only $1.24 a skein. And then these are the ones that were like $4.24 a skein. It's like these Yarn Bee authentic hand dyed. So like these really like the luxurious, fancy yarns. Like I would never buy regular price $16.99 for this. Like I would never buy it for that. I've seen this, and as gorgeous as it is, I would never buy it for even 30% off, because I just thought that's just too expensive. The thing is, I don't have one of those, I feel like I'm gonna have to, like on Heidi, when that guy's like, holding the yarn like this, and that, the grandmother or whatever is like, rolling it into a ball. I feel like I'm gonna have to do that, or like put it on a chair. Like I don't have one of those things that, spins around. I saw, who was it? Nick from Urban Farm Boys, set up one of those things, and like, clip the little things off, and I forget what it's called. Centro is one of those things that people knit with. What's that called? That thing that kind of opens like an umbrella, and then you put the yarn on it, and then you can like spin it or whatever, and just like spins around and unravels it. I don't have one of those, and so I'm gonna have to either do the thing like in Heidi, or in every other TV show that or movie or whatever, where people like hold the yarn with their hands. I think they even did it on Friends once, like as if Monica was crocheting or knitting. But I guess I'm gonna have to do that, or put it on a chair, or something, or on my knee. I've seen. Oh, I'm too fat to do that. Or like where they put them on their knees or whatever, and they unravel it. I guess I'm gonna have to do something like that. But anyway, tangent. So I got 2 of these colors. They actually had 3 of these. They had more of this color than in any of the other ones, which is weird, because this one you would think would be practically gone, because this is gorgeous. Like all these really vibrant colors in it. This one's called, was it Northern Lights? Myriad Lights. And just like practically every color you can think of. Just really vibrant, beautiful yarn. And it's thinner than the medium for. I'm sure this is probably like a 2-weight or 3-weight. A 1-weight. But like I don't care. I mean, it is so pretty. I can't wait to figure out what to make with these. So I did get 2 of these, because these were the prettiest ones. And then I got let's see, one of these. Get one of these. This one's called Stonework, and what's weird is like the color is so different on this side of it than it is this one. But I think if you like unravel it, it would be like, this would be like the half, like half of, like when you pull a strand out, it would go from this to this to this to this, probably. I'm assuming. And then this side looks like it's kind of has this speckled look to it, and so I don't know what that's going to look like worked up, but it's really interesting. This is kind of like a brownish color, it has a little bit of blue in it, but it's really pretty. Like I would never buy this. I feel like I feel a little bit like a prick, in this video. So, look at all this yarn I got, like but this is like a once in a year deal, and I mean, it's not like I spent thousands of dollars, and I'm on here bragging. I'm trying to inspire you to like go look for some of these deals, because even though I hate shopping in Hobby Lobby, they're how much money they're really making for me. Yeah, I spent $200, but like selling this skein of yarn for $4.24, how much money are they really making for me? And so you can't pass this deal up. If you have a little bit of money, you can get a couple skeins if you're not a ridiculous person like me and buy all this yarn. But get you a deal. Try to look for some of this yarn, and because it's too big of a deal to pass up. I was telling like everybody I know that crochets or knits or whatever. I was saying go because the store in our area has marked down the yarn and stuff, and hopefully they got some. But anyway, and so this one's like a sort of a light purple color, almost pink. But this is called lavender. Perfect. Lavenderia. Of course. In my head, I saw the word Daria, and I was thinking about MTV's Daria. It's like now I'm like reading words in TV or reading TV references in words. So it's a Lavenderia or Lavendaria if you're an MTV fan from the 90s and 2000s. Anyway, and then this one I got two of these, or actually I had two of these. Authentic hand dyed, the flamenco, and it. Like I don't know why it would be called flamenco, because like I went to Spain in 2003, and like when I think of like flamenco dancers that I saw there, I would think like really vibrant colors. I mean, it has like a really pretty color, like these little speckles and stuff, but I wouldn't associate this with like flamenco, but because those big gorgeous dresses and all that pretty vibrant colors, but so that the colorway I think is not named properly, but it is pretty. It has all these like little flecks of little blue flecks in it, and sort of like has a little bit of a sort of a peach streak through it, and it's like sort of an ivory color. I need to do that instead of like doing this, because it sort of puts it in shadow. But anyway, so I got those, and so this is the only time I would ever buy this hand dyed yarn, and I'm glad I did, because I've been looking at it for a long time, but I just never bought it. But anyway, so that's all of this batch. Hang on. I did get another anti-pilling from Premier. I tried to organize this yesterday, but it was just such a nightmare. Because I sort of had, like, when I went in the store and I saw all these the price stickers and stuff, and I just sort of like grabbed half of it here and there. There were a couple I grabbed, and I thought, oh no, because how they felt and everything. But like for the most part, I just kind of like grabbed them, and then I thought I can assess later, like when I go through the bags and stuff and look at what I got. I was just too excited. Like I was so excited that I accidentally got two that didn't even have the price stickers on it. I was probably just like grabbing like an idiot. Just like a kid in a candy store, and so I like at the register I had to say, oh, I accidentally grabbed these two, I guess in my excitement of like buying all this, so they had to put it back. But anyway, so this is called Blue, because it was like one of those big Skeins. I think it was the regular price was $8.99. It wasn't even the 30% off week. So I didn't buy them. But anyway, this is called Blue Raspberry, and it's kind of like a tealish, but like a light teal blue. And so I did get another one of those that fell in the bag. Anyway, get some more. Yeah, the one skein that I was a little iffy about, like, should I really buy this? But because it sort of has this hairy look to it, and it kind of sticks to my hands just a little bit. But I feel like outside of, if I touched it on my skin, outside of my dry skin hands because of my OCD and compulsive hand washing, it's not rough or anything. It's actually really soft yarn. It just has this kind of like hairy halo. Not as bad as that Uber Luxe, which I did buy some of. But God, I'm just determined to make that work. It was frustrating that I bought a yarn and I couldn't make it work where I was happy with it. And so I did buy some of that Uber Luxe, just one of each, which I'll get to. But it's part of me feels like it was a waste of money, but I'm just like a challenge. I just feel like, God, I hate that I made that cowl and it doesn't look right. I just feel like I messed up, even though it's probably a yarn issue. But I just feel like this challenge, like I need to make that work. Anyway, but I got one of these because they were more expensive, and I didn't really know what I was going to make with this, and I don't know how I'll like working with the halo on it, but it is a really pretty yarn, and it is actually really soft. Like if you touch like an area of your body that isn't all dry skin or whatever, it's really nice. This one's called Yarn Bee Effortlessly or Effortless Super Bulky, and the color's called Chili Ristra or Ristra, I don't know. But it's kind of like this brownish, almost burgundy-ish brownish color, and see how it has this kind of like it looks better than that Uber Luxe does. It actually looks like it's supposed to be there, and it's not going to like pull off in chunks or whatever. It's like a really pretty yarn, and it's really soft, and this would make like a really pretty scarf. Or this wouldn't be enough for a scarf, but like I'm just saying, the kind of yarn that would make a pretty scarf, or like a really like bulky, nice, warm hat or something. I don't know. It's really nice, and so I did go ahead and get it, even though it's just a little, you know, stick to my hands a little bit. But that's just my issue, not the yarns. And so the other ones that I got right here are the Yarn Bee True Colors. And it's like this, it kind of reminds you of the Soft Secret, except if it was like a thicker twisted yarn. And so it's kind of like a thicker, it's probably like a 5 or 6 in it. Isn't it? Like I'm asking the camera. Isn't it? What's the weight of it? A 6, yeah, 6 super bulky. And so it is a bulky yarn. But this one is called Jasper. I only have one of those. This one's kind of like it kind of reminds you of like bumblebee colors, except it like a lighter yellow. It's sort of like yellow and brown and kind of look. It's really pretty color. And then they had 2 of these, or they had more than this, but I'm just saying I did not clear these off the shelf. I'll get to that one later. I'm putting that off because I feel bad about it, but not really. So and then I got 2 of these. This is called Butterscotch Rose. Because it's kind of like the perfect name for that, because it is kind of like a butterscotch color with like just a little bit of pink in it, and so and like a little bit of olive green in it too. So there's that one. God, I'm holding this down here like a baby or something, like an idiot. My baby. No, but they had 2 of, or I bought 2 of these. They probably had more, but I bought 2 of those, and I've never worked with this yarn before, but I thought, you know, or these were only $1.24 Skeins, so you know, and like I said in one of my other videos, I don't do the specs or whatever, because can you imagine how long my videos would be if I'm sitting here going, and the ounces and the grams and yards and meters, like this video would be way too long. I know that like a lot of YouTubers do that, but like I can't. I'm a motor mouth, and I have like way more things to talk about. I'm just like, I have to get to this in a bit, so it would be like way too long, so I don't do that. I'm sorry. So like look it up before they take it off their website. Look up the specs if you're interested in that kind of stuff, or like if you want to know, like if you want to know like one of the specs for one of these colors, like before you buy it, like comment down below and say, can you like pull that out of your huge stash and like tell me how many yards is in it for something, or for God's sake. Anyway. I can do that if you want, but I'm just not going to do it in my videos. I'm so sorry. I'm just not like that. And so I got 2 of those. And then these, I feel like I want to do something with these together. I only have 3 of this color, and then I have 3, 6, 7 of this color. But I just feel like these would go really well together with something. And I probably should have gotten more of this, but I didn't want to clear a shelf. But they just had a whole lot of this grayish color. It's another one of those Yarn Bee True Colors. And this color is called Pistachio Twist. Why? I have no idea. Oh, there is like a hint of green in it. I didn't even notice that. I thought this was like silver. Yeah, it's a really God, I'm like, I bought these, and I was thinking, oh my God, it's like when I go through my DVDs, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I had that movie. It's like, well, I bought it, idiot. Anyway, but it does have like some green in it, so and no wonder it's called Pistachio Twist. So it's kind of like a light green and like a silver mixed together, and it's really pretty colors. They had a ton of this color. Maybe people don't realize it has the green in it, like me, like an idiot. But anyway, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I bought 7 of those, and these were $1.24 each. And then I bought 3 of these. This one's called this is messed up, mauve, because it's kind of like a light pinkish, almost purplish pink. So maybe it was like a hint of red in it. It kind of like, or mauve. That's what color it is. I'm trying to describe mauve. That's what the perfect color name for this. So I bought 3 of these, but I just feel like these would go really well together. I need to figure out like how to use these because the numbers don't really match up. I'm gonna have to figure out how to use these. I don't know, but I just feel like I want to use those together. And so those are all the Yarn Bee True Colors that I got. And then I got some of these. I know I got some of my Dial-Lot clearance sale Skeins, and the Baby Bee Sweet Delight Chunky. And but I think I got some of the pinks in the Dial-Lot clearance. And so these are the other colors that they had in this sale. This one's they were $1.20 or $1.37. And so I got 3 of this one. This one's called Aqua Sky because it's sort of like and kind of an aqua kind of color, almost like a a cyan aqua, like a really light teal color. So I got 3 of those, and then I got 3 of these. That's just the naked. Oh, I did get one of those in my I'm saying this like as if I've already you've already seen that, but it's in my my future video coming. But I did buy another one, but buy one of these. So I have 3 of these, and I guess the other one makes 4. So it's kind of like a really light ivory, almost like an off-white color. So I got 3 of those, and then 2 of these, which is called flannel marbled, or flannel marled, and it's kind of, God, now I'm thinking that there was one that I looked at and in my video, and I said marbled. I wonder if it said marled, and I just misspoke. Like, I keep saying idiot, but that's how I feel. Oh no, flannel marled, and so it's. I don't know why it's called flannel. It's sort of like a mix of light grays and whites, or like a creamy white kind of color. And so that's what these 2 are. So I got 2 of those, and so that's all of these. Okay, and so this is the 3rd and final bag. God, I hope. No, it is. I got 2 skeins. They had so much of this. I mean, like, probably 40 or 50 skeins of this thick yarn. I got this from my niece because I'm not really crazy about this thick yarn, or like the soft yarn, like the sort of the Bernat blanket kind of feel. But they had so much of this in my store that it was like jam-packed in there, and I could see on the top shelf, not like where the yarn is, like on the top shelf of the yarn aisle, they had like those clear see-through boxes that were like stocked full of these with the labels on them. So they have tons of this stuff, at least in my store. So, but I only got 1 of each for my niece or whatever, because I'm gonna have to like find room on her little yarn wall too. But this one, this Yarn Bee Eternal Bliss, the color magenta. This is the one, like, every time I go into the store, I'd go into the remnants first to see if they had any, like, dye-lot clearance or any kind of clearance skeins. And then I'd walk past the thick yarn aisle and look, because I knew that this, because somebody had posted a video, and this was one of those that was discounted. So I could see that because it's, like, near the end of the row. And so I'd walk by and just kind of looking at, if I saw the little sticker, I would know that it was discounted. But I would always look at these, and they weren't discounted yet. So this is sort of like the gauge. And, like, when I walked in yesterday and I saw the sticker on these, I thought, oh, God, I made it just in time, and it's happening, or what. And so I did get 1 of these, and I got 1 of these. I probably should have got more. These were only $1.99 each. Like, the regular price of these is $7.99 for these. But like, my niece hasn't even used. She hasn't come back over here yet since spring break. And so she hasn't seen all the other yarns that I bought her, but for $2 it's a really good price. But this is a really pretty. This is like magenta, like it's almost more of like a red color than magenta. But anyway, and this one has like white, and then has like random colors, sort of like a red color and yellow, purple. Kind of a tealish blue, and it's just sort of a pretty mix of colors. It's a thicker weight yarn. It's not like the Bernat blanket thickness. It's a little thicker than that. Probably like a super bulk or a mega or whatever it's called, or jumbo, a number 7 jumbo. That's what these are. This one probably too. Yeah. So it's like the thicker yarn, and so I did buy those for my niece, but. And then I did buy like 1 of each of the Uber Luxe, because God, it's stupid. It's the yarn that's the issue, but I just sort of like took it personally, like as if I messed up or something. Making that cowl and for it to be all hairy looking. But I just feel like the more I look at it, I just feel like I shouldn't blame myself like I did something wrong. I just feel like that it's the yarn that's the issue, but I just feel like, God, I want to try to make this work, like like this challenge or something. It's frustrating, and so I did buy 1 of each, because I don't even really like. It's gorgeous yarn, but then the more you look at it, and then you look at it after you work with it, and it's just like, why is it just all hairy looking? But I know it's just the yarn, but I couldn't. It's gorgeous, kind of like shiny, really soft yarn. So I just thought I need to get this to challenge myself, to try to figure out what to do with this freaking yarn. And so so I got like 1 of each. And so the Yarn Bee Uber Luxe, Luxe. So this one's called Sagery, because it's like a sage green color. And then this one is called Cranberry, because it's like a sort of a deep red, like not really maroon or burgundy kind. It is kind of like more of a cranberry color, like a deep red. And then they had this one, Fox and Flame. It's kind of like a pumpkin-y orange color. And I see how shiny it looks in this camera, this crappy camera, but you see how it's shiny? It's a beautiful yarn. It's hairy. And not in like a way like you think it's supposed to look that way. Just, I don't know, it just feels like it's coming apart. So, I don't know. I may end up regretting buying all these, but at least I'm going to try one more time to make it work with something. Somebody, I should have written their name down. I'm really bad about that. I'm sorry I haven't called people out or whatever. But there are so many people I'd love to call out. But anyway, somebody suggested, like, maybe I could, when I work with this or after I work with it, like, crochet something around, or like I use another strand of yarn around it to kind of like, bring in the hairiness or something. That maybe that would work. I have no idea. But and this is the Lubrelux charcoal. This is the color that I used for that cowl that 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 I joked that it looks like I have dogs and cats in my house, and with like dog hair all over it. This is the color that I use. It's like a, hard to see, but it's black and it has some gray mixed in it. And then I did get another one of the black. This one looks a little bit more contained than the other one, these other ones, but I'm sure it's going to get just as hairy. But this is just the black color, and I feel like I already have one of these that I got in the dialogue clearance, but I'm going to make this work with it. And then I got one, and this is just the white, so I got a white, and then they had a lot of this, I know exactly why, because nobody wanted it in the first place. But they did have a lot of this, but I only got one of each. These were only $1.87 a skein. Did I already say that? I have no idea. And so that's white or ivory. And I see it's even coming apart. Like, can I pull this apart and maybe the strands, like the individual strands would, or I don't know. And this one's called Honeycomb. It's like a really pretty gold color. So there's that one, and then this one is like sort of the reverse of this charcoal, where it's like a whole lot of gray with like a little bit of black in it, and this one's just called medium gray. And so there's that one that I got, and so I did get a lot of this Uberlux, and but I thought for a little over $10, then it's worth it to like prove to myself that like I didn't make a mistake. So I did buy a lot of that, and or they did have some medium for what they had there. Like, I love this yarn. They usually don't discount a lot of this. They've put some of these in dialogue clearance, but I've hardly ever seen them show this in like the big markdowns, like their I love this brand, or I love this yarn, comma damn it brand. I had to slip that in because I'm buying a lot of yarn from them. And so they can, if you're upset by that, they basically have a monopoly on like craft stores and stuff. They can handle it. My little YouTube channel, I'm mocking them just a little bit after I just spent $200. Anyway, so this one's called Violet Wisp, and it's like it's sort of one of those like the twisted yarns, except it's like really light colored. And I saw somebody on YouTube. I thought that it was the other color that's kind of like this, where it's a really light twisted yarn, and I saw them, and so I was kind of looking at that one. And then the Saturday, because I went every single day to catch this, and the Saturday that I thought that they were going to mark it down, I saw that like the other color that was like this was gone, and I thought, oh my god, did they have the sale? But it was just like the other color, because they had stocked it back up, but then I had this, and this was marked down, so I just mistaken, because they're very close to each other, these yarns. And so they had this or whatever, and so I got some of these, and it's just like a really, it has like purple and yellow and some red and green, and it's like just really subtle and light colored, but it's really pretty, and a neutral kind of color, and so it's Violet Wisp. But I got 3 of those actually. Had 3 of the I love this yarn. I couldn't believe that. So that was a good thing. This is that same color, right? Oh yeah, this one must be a different dialogue, because it's just like slightly different than these other 2. So I got those, and then these, I wish I could have cleared, or I wish I should, or I wish I had cleared the shelf of these, because like when I got them home and put them out of the bag, I thought, God, these are so nice. But I'm not going to do that. When I go back today, hopefully to find some of that velvet yarn. If I haven't edited it in, I'm sure I'm going to edit it in later. Me showing that I got them too. Let me just say, I feel like I'm going. I want to say 3 things at once. When I went into the store, what I wanted to do was, I was thinking, I wonder if I can like if I grab a bunch of yarn, if it actually turns out to be like 57 skeins, because the whole like EG57 thing, I was thinking that would be like so perfect. And after I saw as much yarn as they had, I stopped counting or whatever. And then when I got home and I realized it was like 109, I was thinking, oh god. Now a part of me wants to like get, what is it? 5 more, like, you know, get 5 of those velvet, I don't know how many colors they have, but like get, you know, 5 of those, so then I can say that I have, like, you know, 57 times 2 numbers, OCD. Anyway, that is right, the math is right? 114. So anyway, so I want to get, I'm gonna get some of those later on. But like when I pulled this out of the bag, I thought, God, I wish I would have gotten more of this. But like I don't want to clear the shelf of this because I got plenty of this right now. But this is like such nice yarn, and yarn that I never would have really looked at or even, you know, thought to even pick up because it was like the bulky yarn, and I always, you know, focused on the other aisle. So I just would always gloss over this aisle. But God, this is so nice. This is Yarn Bee Dream Supreme. I mean, it is like a dream touch. It is so soft and bulky without being all hairy, and it feels like if they made, I don't know if this is anti-pilling, it probably isn't, but it feels like if they took those anti-pilling skeins and, like, you know, put them in the machine on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you know, when they reversed it and blew it up, like it feels like that, like the same kind of feel. And God, see TV movie references all the time. I hope that you don't mind that. It's irritating, but it's just because how immersed I am in, like, you know, TV and movies and stuff. Because I have no life. So this is I don't even know where the color is. Is that the no? The color, oh, charcoal. Okay, so I got 2 of the charcoal, and so I got 2 of those, and then I got 2 of this color, and this one's called butterscotch, so it's like a goldish color. This is sort of just like a grayish color, and I got 2 of those, 2 of the charcoal. Wait, oh, the label came off. I was like, what the hell? All right, heck. Sorry, I'm gonna end up. I'm gonna try to, you know, not say the F word or the S word, you know, if that offends you or whatever, but if it does, then don't hang out with me in real life, because that's every other word. And it's getting even worse because I'm having to, you know, suppress it in these videos and stuff. So it's like later on, it's like F word, every other word, even worse than before. So it's like when my niece comes over, and then I don't cuss around her at all. And then it's like, you know, for days after she leaves, it's just like, you know, I'm just cussing like, you know, the sailor, like my dad. And because I have to suppress it so hard when she's over here, so I don't cuss in front of her. And then it's like when she's gone, it's like, oh, F word, every other word. So anyway, I still got 2. Oh, the skeins are kind of messed up just because of their how soft they are, and of course the label coming off. But so I got 2 of those colors, and then I got 3 of these. So I just feel like I can make something with these, like together, because it's such nice yarn. And this one's called Linen, because it's kind of like a taupe sort of color, and so there's 3 of those, and but God, this was like one of my favorite yarns that I just happened to get, and I didn't even really notice how nice it was in the store, because I was just like grabbing like an idiot, just like a maniac. And so and then the only other yarn that I got, and I feel bad that I cleared the shelf, but it's just such gorgeous yarn, and I've been looking at it for a long time, and I didn't buy any of it, because like the regular price is $5.99, which isn't that much more than like $4.99, like for the regular acrylics. But like I feel like, you know, Coco Peru, when in her video, when she's like looking for Panettone, and she's like, you know, going from store to store, like spending gas money driving to other stores to, like, you know, save $1, because oh, the Panettones in here are like $5.99, and, you know, I'd rather pay $4.99. It feels like that, where like it's not that much more expensive than like the regular acrylics, but so it's kind of stupid for me to have drug my feet getting this yarn when it's only $1 more than like the ones I normally get. Of course, I would, you know, get the 30% off, of course, but still, it sort of felt like stupid not buying this when I wanted to buy it for all this time. But I don't know, but I'm glad that they are clearancing them out, and I got to get some of it at a really cheap price, $1.49. But it's the Yarn Bee Chromatic Spectrum. I knew that they were going to clearance it. Like nobody bought this. Like every single time I went to my store, they still had the same skin, unless they were like really on top of it and were always restocking or whatever. It just felt like that section was always full of this. So I don't know. So I kind of at the start of the year, I was thinking, I wonder what yarns they're gonna, like, this is me, like having no life, sitting around thinking, I wonder what yarns they're gonna discount. I was thinking, I bet that they're gonna discount this because I never see it gone. I never see the shelf empty there, and they did, and I'm glad. And I feel really bad that I cleared the shelf because I don't like to do that. I don't want to, you know, look like some prick, and then also knowing that I'm gonna be filming it for YouTube in front of a giant wall of yarn or whatever. I'm here like, oh, I cleared the shelf. I bought all this that I didn't need. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like an. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could say it, but that's how I felt, you know, buying this. But like at the same time, it's such gorgeous yarn, and I regretted not buying it all that time because I felt like so stupid not buying it. But anyway, so they I did clear every single one of them they had, and I hate that, but you know, call me a prick in the the comments, please. I don't care. I wouldn't blame you. But this one's called All Systems Indigo, which is a weird name. This one is like a really deep blue color, and has some like oh, on the inside it's like a little surprise of color. I didn't expect that. On the inside it has like some sort of oranges. I don't even know if you can see that. But just like a really interesting yarn. I feel like it's going to be like those ombre kind of yarns, or those kind of yarns that fade into other colors instead of it just being like, you know, really abrupt color changes. I feel like it's going to be like that. I haven't seen it worked up anywhere, but it's just really pretty. It has all these like mix of colors. So they only had one of those, and then they had, let's see, one of these. This one's called Sun Bleached, and it has like brown. It's really soft too. Like it looks like it would be really rough, but it's not. It has like some brown and maybe a little bit of olive and some gray mixed in with like the creamy color. And this is a little messed up, but I got one of those. And then they had 4 of these. They act like, when I say it now, I really mean that. They only had 4 of these because I cleared the shelf like a prick. And this one's called Aztec Sandstone, and it has like oranges and browns and kind of a neutral green color. And so kind of like that. This is really pretty too. And so I got 4 of those. And then this one I got 4 of, and this one's called Island Life, and just really like vibrant teal blues and purples and stuff. Like it's real. This is really pretty. I mean, God. And now I feel bad that like I never bought it, because then I sort of or it has some pink on this side too. Now I feel bad because I never bought it, and then now they're getting rid of it because it was never, you know, I guess they were getting rid of it because, you know, people weren't buying it, and like me, probably, you know, cheap people like me that that think, oh, it's $5.99, why isn't it $4.99? You know, it's only $1 more, but you know what I'm saying. I'm probably the reason why, or part of the reason why they're getting rid of this colorway is because you know it was $1 more, and that's, you know, too much, like, you know, because I'm cheap. But so I got 4 of those, and then I got 3 of these. This is my favorite one, that the one I've already showed. Kind of, it's called It's Azure Thing, like azure, like, you know, blue. In Spanish, isn't it Spanish for blue? No, that's azul, or whatever it is. Azure Thing, but it is like it's a sort of teal color, and it has like some greens and stuff mixed in it, and like in the middle, God, that teal in the middle is like really gorgeous. I don't even know if you can see it in this light. And like has some brown and stuff. It's just like such beautiful colors and stuff. So I had to clear the shelf of this. I mean, I feel really bad about it, but you know, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. But anyway, so that's like that's all of it. I don't mean like, oh, that's all, but like because it's just a ridiculous amount of yarn. But anyway, so. I'll just sort of recap the whole experience and whatever. And so the only reason I got to, you know, get this, I feel, is because I have no life, and went there every single day. And some days it was multiple times. Like on the weekends, what was it? 17 minutes. Hang on. But like on the weekends, when I thought that they were probably going to mark it down on a Saturday, I would go in there like maybe 2 or 3 times on a Saturday. because like I said, I have no life, and I would go in there, just kind of glance through to see if they had marked it down, and they hadn't. And so, but I feel like it all paid off in the end, even though all the money that I saved on all this yarn, I probably spent on gas getting there. But whatever, I'm just going to ignore that and act like that isn't a possibility. But it's not like I go, all over the place. It's not like I drive, hours away in town. I barely go out. I'm a homebody. I stay inside all the time. And so I did go there every day, and kept checking for the yarn or whatever. So I feel like that kind of paid off, because I got to go in there and check all the time, and then I ended up getting dialogue clearance Skeins too in the process. But so then I went in there yesterday. I thought for sure, like I even went early Monday, thinking that they were gonna. Because in my next video, I sort of make this joke that like I bet that they're waiting until like that Saturday, like the end of the week, because they're not open on Sunday. That they're going to wait till the end of the week to mark down the yarn, because of the possibility of idiots going in there and thinking that they're going to get 30% off the clearance prices, and then if they mark it down that week, then they would be up at the register complaining about, oh, why isn't it 30% off? Why do I have to spend $1.24 on a skein? Why isn't it 30% off, $1.24? Like thinking that they're going to get the clearance price on the skeins that are marked down. And so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking they're going to probably do it like the end of that Saturday. But then I went in there like twice, and they didn't do it yet. And so then I went in yesterday thinking, oh, I'm sure that they did it. I even went in there early, and none of them were marked down. And so I went in there yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday, and when I first walked into the store, I saw somebody kind of like walking away from the yarn, and with like the cart with like that price gun in it. I was thinking, is this going to be the day that they marked it down? But I was sort of like thinking, or maybe they're not going to mark it down yet, because like in my store, when I got when I got the big clearance last year, it was like the 15th of June. It was like sort of in the middle of June, and so I was thinking, maybe I'm just like getting my hopes up or whatever. And then I walked in there, I like walked past the dialogue clearance section, or like the remnants. There wasn't any there. And so when I walked by, I looked down that sort of in my side eye, down the aisle with like the chunky yarn, and then when I saw that big red or that magenta or whatever with the sticker on it, I thought, oh, holy crap. And so I joked to my mom that like because like she stayed in the car, because I didn't want to like drag her at. I did that last video. I didn't want to drag her into the store, because she likes to go out with me when I go shopping and stuff, and see what I get. And so, but she doesn't have to like walk in the store every single time I like look for yarn or whatever. Just for, because there were many times I just walked in there and walked out and didn't buy anything. And so I didn't want to have to like drag her in there, and unless I found some yarn. And so I told her, like, if you're in the car and you're like waiting for me to come out, and you hear like some idiot going, yippee! Like I said, it's probably going to be me in the store, screaming like an idiot because I, found all this yarn. I didn't do that. Oh, I was so tempted to. I really wanted to, but I didn't do it because I almost got like so shocked that it was all marked down that I could barely speak, and I was like fumbling around. I couldn't believe it, and I was almost like grabbing it, like somebody was gonna walk down the aisle and like start grabbing it too, like I imagine like the way Black Friday used to be, before people bought stuff online, people just like grabbing stuff. That's the scenario in my head. And I thought that was going to be what it would be. That I'd have to like knock people over just to get this yarn, like a crazy person. But I was like the only one over there in the yarn section, and I could have said yippee and probably nobody would have heard me. But whatever. And so I went in there and I was like, just grabbing at it. My arms are probably gonna be so sore from like, going like this. I got to work out grabbing all the yarn. And so and I was like stuffing it in my cart. And the only thing in my cart was my cane, and it was just like literally overflowing, like this big. And like some of them kept rolling out. So it was just like I looked like a ridiculous person. And I had to keep like mentioning like when I went up to the front of the store and was paying, like I probably mentioned it too many times about like crochet and stuff, because I wanted to like the people in line to know that like I'm not like some reseller, that I didn't like buy all this yarn to resell it and try to make money, that I bought this with the intention of like actually using it, and maybe, or I guess I am sort of going to be a reseller if I like turn it into something, but like that's not really what I'm talking about. I just feel like the people that buy the yarn and for like $2.50 a skein and then put it on eBay for like $15 $15, that kind of thing. I didn't want them to think that I was like some reseller or whatever, so I kind of mentioned it too much to the people online. I don't talk to people in line in stores or hardly ever, because I'm just not a very social person. But I ended up talking to more people yesterday than I have in probably months, but because everybody had something to say about all this, and so I kind of mentioned, too much about me crocheting, just so people didn't think I was a reseller, because I do want to use all this yarn. But anyway, so I got all this yarn, and like I was walking through the store, and it just sort of like acting like this didn't just happen, and I was like looking in the back in the clearance section to see if there's anything back there. Just like I was sort of like, because I was sort of in shock, thinking like, am I really gonna do this? Like I was almost like too embarrassed to even walk to the front of the store with like this giant cart like pile. And so I was just kind of like walking around, and then of course in the back I don't know his name, or I've never really talked to him before, but I feel like he's the manager of the store that in my area, and he was back there, and they were like putting up shelves or something, and he just kind of looked at my cart, and he just kind of like did this thing like this, like in the thought bubble was probably like, oh, hello, like, and kind of like that, and because he probably thought, oh God, look how much yarn he's getting, and so I just kind of like nodded at him and like kept avoided him, because I just felt like he's gonna say something how ridiculous this is. I just felt like a ridiculous person walking through there. Like I feel ridiculous anyway. If the videos I do, anything I do, I just feel like I'm a ridiculous person. But like this was just more ridiculous than I ever do. Ridiculous for me. And so I was like walking to the front of the store and thinking, oh God, what I was afraid of was like looking at the cashiers, like what their face is going to look like when they see my giant cart full of yarn. And so there was a woman that was like walking. She was like one of the cashiers or something. She was like walking towards the back of the store, and she just kind of like glanced at my cart and she said, "Oh, you got lucky today." And then I felt the first thing I said was, yeah, and this isn't even half of it, because I thought like I don't want her to think that I went over there and got all of it, because it really wasn't. This wasn't even half of what they had. So this is like a big sale. I've heard people online in their videos say that like this doesn't seem like to be a big sale, but like this is huge. Like in my store, like I've got 109 skeins, and there's still like at least another 200 or 300 skeins left, especially in this big skeins, and like the only ones I cleared off the shelf are the chromatic spectrum. Like all the rest of them, there's plenty of them left. So this is a huge. They didn't have any cotton in the sale. I wasn't like that upset about that, but if you're looking for cotton, they didn't have any in my store, so I don't know. But anyway, so then I finally went. I was in the line waiting to get checked out, and like one by one, everybody like kept getting behind me, and I just felt like such an. I felt so bad because like they were walking up like really nice without their two little things, and then like there's my giant cart full of yarn that's going to take up the whole line, and so like one by one they would walk up behind me, and they'd have the same reaction too. I'd say, oh, you can go ahead of me, and they'd try to be nice about it, and they'd say, oh no, it's okay, and then they go, oh, okay, thank you. Like they would they would be like the courteous thing where you think, oh no, don't worry about it, but then they saw how much yarn that I had and how overflowing my cart was, and then they went ahead and went ahead of me, and so I did that like 3 or 4 times. And because they noticed my yarn, they were talking to me, and so I had to talk to these people. They were really nice, but like I don't like talking to people in public. I don't like talking to people on the phone, or I don't like talk to people in general. But I had to like talk to these people, and so like there was a woman that was with her older daughter, like 30-year-old daughter or something, and they were together, and they were noticing all the yarn and stuff, and they were saying, "Well, you're buying a lot of yarn. What do you like, crochet or whatever?" And I'm glad that she didn't say like, "Oh, are you like a reseller?" because I would have felt bad. But no, she like assumed that I was a crocheter and stuff, and I said, yeah, and this is like the the once in a year clearance, and that's 75% off most. Some of this is like 50% off. But I was kind of said 75% off most of it and everything. And the daughter was saying that I wanted to crochet, but I don't have like the not dexterity, but she said that she just doesn't the coordination. That's what she said. That she doesn't have like the coordination to do it or whatever. And then the mother said that she tried to crochet years ago, but all she could do was the chains and stuff. And so I was like having this conversation with them, and then I let this woman go ahead of me, and it's the woman with like the little girl, and so the woman went ahead of me, and she had like these 3 daughters, and they kind of reminded me of the same age of as my niece, and although they were like it felt like there were three sisters, and one was like a little bit older, one was like my niece's age, one was just like a little bit younger. And so they all had like different personalities. And so one of them, the one that came over to the car, she was like the curious one. She was like, she was the one that was poking at her. She's like, "What are you gonna do with all these?" Like, poking at her. And so I was like, "I'm just gonna like crochet. I crochet and make stuff with it." And then like the older girl, she said, "Oh, you know how to crochet? You like crochet stuff with it?" Like the thought bubble. If she had a thought bubble over her head, it would be like, "Oh, but you're a boy." It was kind of like that. Like she was, just kind of curious that like, I was buying all this yarn. And I actually crochet. And then the other one was obviously the younger one, because she came over and she said, "You're gonna take all that home." It was like really loud. In my head, it like echoed through the store, but it wasn't that loud. But it was just like, it was hilarious. She was just like, "You're gonna take all that home," like as if I was, taking this over there to stock the shelves or whatever. But like, in my head, I was thinking, if I can drag all this shit. If I can drag all this stuff out to the car and take it into the house or whatever, then I'll take it home. I'm going to try. But that's not what I said. But I said, yeah, I'm going to take it home. They have like a sale, and I bought all this stock up because, I crochet or whatever. And they were just like, they were really sweet or whatever. And then there was this other woman that she went ahead of me, because she was kind of like, gave me that kind of bulged look at first, because she was like, "Oh, don't worry. Oh, thank you." Like that kind of thing. And she was like, soft-spoken woman. And then there was another woman that she thought for sure that they were going to open up another register, so she didn't go ahead of me. But I didn't hear it, because like all the other people were talking and everything, and it was just so embarrassing. And she had a little boy with her, and obviously the little boy asked about the yarn, because all I heard from her was she told her little boy, she said, "I don't know, he's probably going to be crocheting with it or something." And she was probably embarrassed because he was probably like, "What is he going to do with all that yarn?" I didn't hear what he said, but that's probably that's what went in my head, what he probably said. But she was like, sort of saying it in a way of like, shushing him, and so it was kind of hilarious. And then one of the women that checked me, or the one of them, because there's two, they had to call for backup. One of them came over, and she said, "Oh, if you want to come over here, we're opening up a register." And there were people behind me, but she was calling me over, and they literally opened a register for me because of like, how big my cart was. I mean, it was, I felt so really like just ridiculous. Like they had to open up a register for me. I thought, God, this is so embarrassing. And so then when she was getting the register all open and everything, and I said, "Are you sure you want to take me?" And then she like laughed or whatever, and she said that she had seen me like letting, like, I'm the kind of person that like I don't want to hold up a line or whatever, and I let probably like 4 or 5 people in front of me. I would have stood there probably for another hour until the store was completely empty of people to go through the line. But whatever. And so I was just like that. I'm just that kind of person. And so she said, "Well, we saw you like letting all those people in front of you, so we wanted to open up this line to get you out of the store and everything." Or she didn't say it that way. She like to get you out of the store. No, she just meant like to like get you through the line and stuff, because she thought it was nice that I was letting everybody in front of me. Really, I was just like, I felt really uncomfortable, and I would have felt like crap, letting, or like holding up the line, putting my skein after skein after skein on there to be checked out. And so she was there, and she called for backup or whatever. There was a woman that came over, and she was like holding the bag for the other one, and so they were like ringing it through and stuff. And she said, "Oh wow, you got a big haul," or what I think she said haul, and talking about how the prices were really good and stuff, and I said that they do this every year, and because she sort of didn't act like she wasn't really sure, but she just was surprised at like how many of them were discounted, what the prices were and stuff. And I said, I do this I said every year, but I meant like this last year and this year, that I like to stock up and stuff, because you can't really pass it up, the deal on the yarn. And so I was trying to explain to her, and I said, because I like to crochet, and so really I just did that so that she didn't think that I was like a reseller or something. Because I sort of felt like, somebody's going to look at me and think, "Oh yeah, you're just going to put them on eBay." But I wanted to like make sure that that they probably didn't even think about it. They didn't even care. But like in my head, that's what they were thinking. That it's probably some reseller. So I wanted to make sure that made the point of like saying that I crochet. And so I was like, I got my 4 bags, and was walking out of the store like practically hobbling. I had my cane in this hand and one bag like this, and then 3 in the other bag. And what I wanted to do was, like, my mom was waiting in the car, and God, for who knows how long. Like, we have air conditioning. Like, if we had our old car, from a long time ago when I was growing up, that had no air conditioning, I wouldn't have left her in the car. But our car has air conditioning, and so I was like walking there. I wanted to like lift them up like this to show her, because like she was like just hoping that I got me some yarn, and but I couldn't even lift them up because they were just so heavy, and so but she did see me like with my arms down, with all my yarn. So I tried to lift them up as far as I could, and she was like so excited or whatever, and she got to like go through it with me or whatever, and we had fun like looking through the yarn and stuff. But I know this is ridiculous, and I feel like a dumb, or no, I can't even say that. I feel like an idiot, or a prick, or whatever. I feel I feel bad like coming on here and making this video and sort of in a sort of a bragging way. I don't mean to brag, or I hate like narcissistic people and people that like brag about stuff, but like, this is, I know I spent a lot of money on this, but like really it's discount stuff. I mean, $200 on all that. Like, if I figured it out, I'm sure it would be at least $500 or $600 worth, if I figured it out within the 30% off range. But so I did spend a lot of money, and I don't mean to come off as somebody that's bragging. I did this I'm showing this in a video because I want to inspire you to go look for some of this yarn, because it's really nice. It's a once in a year thing, and it's just a hell of, it's a really good deal, and you just can't pass it up. Like I said, I don't like shopping at Hobby Lobby, but who could pass this up? It's too big of a deal, and they're not really getting that much money out of me, if you really think about it. And so that's the excuse in my head. Well, it's all discount, so they're not really getting that much money. But who could pass this up? I mean, it's just an incredible deal, and some really nice yarns. If you like this kind of bulky yarn, or they do have some medium 4-weight acrylics. They do have some thin yarn. They don't have they didn't have any cotton in mind, but they do have some really nice yarns that you can get. And I'm going to go back and get some of that velvet, just to have some of that, because it is really pretty yarn. And my mind was blown when she started to pull it out, and it was just turning it into like the perfect thin yarn to make a scrunchie or something. It was just like, it blew my mind. So it was so cool. And but anyway, I'll link her video down below, because she showed it first. But anyway, this is just, I just wanted to show off my haul. It's the biggest haul. I'm not going to need yarn for like, years at this point. Not that I won't buy any. I'll probably end up buying some. And then I'll feel like I'll have to come on and then the next video where I buy some yarn and feel like, I know I didn't need this, but like every single video from now on that I show off yarn that I bought, it's going to start with like the thing where I'm like, I know I didn't need this, but kind of introduction to it. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my ridiculous yarn wall and another one of my ridiculous videos where I'm all over the place and stuff. But anyway, I hope this inspired you, gave you the idea of like what you can find at your Hobby Lobby if you have one near you, and they're going through the clearance and stuff. I don't know when yours is going to be clearance, and but because it's all different times and stuff. But go look for it. If you're a crocheter or a knitter or whatever, and you want some yarn, just go look for it. This is a once in a year thing, and it's worth it to spend the money or whatever. Luckily, I had saved up or whatever, and I only spent $5 and whatever it is, technically, but it's worth it because you get to get a lot of yarn and stuff at a really good price. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the sale. So you just have to do it if you have the money. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this isn't too long and won't take hours to upload or whatever. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And the next video, I don't know which video it's going to be, but I do have another yarn haul that's already filmed that I need to edit. It's a bunch of dialogue clearance from Hobby Lobby, and because I would go in there every single day looking for this, and they had like a bunch of dialogue clearance, and there's a couple other skeins in that video, but I just felt like I wanted to edit this first and have this out there because I wanted people to because like if they're discounting them in my store, they're probably discounting them in everybody else's store. So I wanted to show like which ones they had that I got. So anyway, so that'll be like the next video, even though I mentioned that I haven't gotten this yet. I'll put a little thing on the screen or whatever. And then I have some other videos coming in the future, but whatever. This video is long enough anyway. Is there anybody even still watching? Anyway, or hang on, 19 minutes. But I do have some videos that I'm working on. I'm making a lot of Pride stuff with the Premier yarn that I bought, that I showed and matched up with the Pride flags or whatever in that Pride video. And so I have the stuff that I'm making right now. That'll be in another video. And then usually at the end of these videos, when I have big yarn hauls, I usually show myself putting it on the shelves and sort of an ASMR. I don't really get the whole ASMR thing, but somebody mentioned it, like when I was putting my yarn away, and I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't know whether I should narrate over it or put music over it. So I just kind of like left it with the noise of me, like, you know, putting my yarn away. And a couple people mentioned how it sort of reminded them of like ASMR, and so I guess I unintentionally did some ASMR videos, but where I like put my yarn away. But there's so much of this that I don't really know what to do with it yet, and like I haven't even put away the yarn that's going to be in the next haul video, because I knew that like I was going to be getting all this, and I don't know where to put that. Whenever I'll be getting this, I wouldn't know where to put that. So I thought maybe what I'll do is make it like a separate video where I try to figure out where to put all the, and then I also have my Premier's skeins, like the leftover ones. I'm gonna be using the ones for the flags and stuff. So I'm not gonna put that away because I need to use those. But like the other, like the extra skeins, like I don't know where to put those yet. So I thought maybe another video I'll do is where I'll try to figure out where to put all this stuff. I'm already it's deceivingly full. That there's room for a lot more yarn there, but I just need to figure out like where to put it all, and so that'll be like a video by itself where I like, you know, go through and try to find places for the yarn. And I do have another shelf that I could put here and replace it with some of these like plastic ones at the top, or I'm trying to figure out like because there's a lot of wasted space here in the middle. Like especially at the top. I mean, I could put way more yarn up there, and like these drawers, I hate these drawers anyway, but like I wish I could figure out how to, like, if like take the drawers out and like put yarn in there, like figure out how to a way to stack them. But that's gonna be another video where I try to figure out like where to put all this yarn, and I'll put it away in a separate video just because of how many skeins I have now. Whatever, but I know that this is a lot of yarn, and I feel, you know, feel like weird, like bragging about it or whatever. But I wanted to, like, you know, share a deal and everything. And I'm, like I said, I'm a deal finder. I'm not somebody that, you know, pays full price for all this stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of yarn, and it'll take me years to go through all of it. But I mean, like, to, you know, work it all up and make things. But like I'm not gonna, I could never pass this up, and I'm not gonna need a whole lot of more yarn for a very long time, so I couldn't pass it up. So and I'm trying to, you know, show you that you can, you know, find a lot of really good deals. I know that that's all my videos are, is like, oh, deal, and use this coupon, and like, I feel like I'm getting old, but whatever. That's just what because I just feel like I have a lot of yarn, but a lot of it is discounted and stuff, and I barely, some of it I didn't even pay anything for because I use vouchers and stuff, or some of it's from my mom's old stash. So this is like, you know, huge for me. Like, I don't do this very often. This is like a once in a year thing, and this is only the second year I've gotten to do this. And like, I have some of the skeins from last year left in my stash, but like a lot of them I've already used, and so I do use the yarn just eventually. But anyway, is anybody watching at this point? So that's enough for now. And I see I'm still back in the old videos. Or no, I said that in the video that I haven't posted yet. See, I'm all over the place here at the end. It doesn't matter because nobody's watching anyway. Here at the end. So thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Any questions you want to know about the yarn and, you know, the specs or whatever, I can, you know, pull them out of these, you know, 3 or 4 bags, and tell you the specs if you really want to know that, or you can just go to your store and figure it out. You know, find them in your store or whatever. But anyway, just, you know, comment down below, whatever. Like and subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.